Hello.
Is there anyone out there? If you are, let us know. Let your presence be felt in the comment section. Hello?
Okay, we've got six people watching.
That's nice.
Okay, I'm just going to. So, those of y'all who've tuned in live, this is a session to get your questions answered on the new Swift and the Elite i20. We've got our first comment. I think that's Samarth. Hi, Samarth.
Hi, Samarth.
We've okay. A lot of highs and hellos pouring in. So again, guys, if you've got questions about the new Swift, the new Elite i20, whatever, please let us know. Okay, so Rohan is asking is which car is better to buy. Rohan, are you looking at any cars in particular, or are you asking between the Swift and the Elite i20? In which case, actually, let's just take that up as the first question.
Exactly.
Swift or Elite i20?
So that ultimately comes down to your budget, if that is your question. In the case of the budget, if you are looking at the mid-range variant of the Elite i20, up until that budget, we'd say you're better off getting a better equipped version of the Swift because it's decent in terms of cabin space. You've got a good list of features as well. And in the Elite i20, at least, spoiler alert, we've got a variance explained video that's going to be coming up. And in that, we've discovered that until around the sports or Asta variant, the car's not particularly well equipped.
Yeah,
the Elite
so
i20.
so let's put it this way: if you've got a budget of about 6 odd lakhs, it might just be wiser to pick like a better equipped version of the Swift than go for a bare bones variant of the Elite i20. So Rohan, I think it depends on your budget, and yeah, maybe go from there, figure out what features you want, and the only basic trade-off is a bit of space.
Yeah.
And everyday usability, where the Elite i20 is a bit better.
And even in terms of the quality department, the Elite
Yeah.
20 and Swift, there's quite a tangible difference between the two. But overall, yes, budget constraints notwithstanding, the Elite 20 is obviously the better pick, but that comes down to how much you can pay up for the car itself.
Right.
Any new questions then?
Actually, we've got a bucket load of new questions.
Awesome.
And okay, so this is not pertaining to the Swift or the Elite i20. Suyad is asking us, he's got a Ciaz and he wants some accessories.
Okay.
So okay, Suyad, the Ciaz is now a part of Nexa. You've got a whole lot of accessories. You can choose from seat covers, you can choose an aftermarket infotainment system, there are alloy wheels, you can put graphics, body kits.
Is there some particular accessory
Yeah.
that you'd like to know about? Let us know about
if
that.
you've
because
got
it's a
anything
wide range of
particular
options.
if you want to know about anything in particular, ask us that. We'll get back to you. All right. So Atanu, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You've booked a Swift VXI. Congratulations. Anand asks us, he's got a 7 lakh budget and he needs a petrol CVT.
Petrol CVT.
I don't think there's a 7 lakh petrol CVT, is there? You can get an AMT.
Yeah, AMT, or maybe if you're okay, you can go for the Nissan Micra CVT, the Xtronic. But in these two cases,
but that car's a bit too old, I think.
exactly,
right
it's
now
not
to-
very well equipped.
yeah.
I mean, if the CVT is a requirement for you, sure, go ahead and get that. But otherwise, maybe
There's a Swift AMT to
the Swift
consider.
AMT, and it's very well tuned, mind you. It is an AMT, so traditionally you would expect that it have some kind of jerkiness in the throttle, not that smooth between gear changes and all. But in the Swift's case, it's been very well tuned. They have paid attention while testing it. It's down to the fact that even if you go for hard acceleration and a downshift comes in, the throttle, the engine map actually does an auto blip to rev match, so you get a smoother shift. So it's very well tuned. So if that is not a limitation for you, I'd say go ahead and take a test drive of the Swift and see how you like it. If not, the CVT option, as we mentioned before, you can probably offer the Micra, but then again, you won't get the same kind of service support, and the product itself it's quite dated.
Right. I'm taking another question from Rohan. He asks if a manual is better or an automatic. Now I'm assuming this is for the Swift.
Yeah.
Again, and just to put it into perspective, I'm taking the Z variant. That's the top spec Swift. Okay.
Okay.
So the Z petrol is 6.5 lakhs. Whereas the Z petrol automatic is 7 lakhs, so 50,000 rupee premium. That is what you're looking at, and in my books, it is sort of justified for the kind of convenience it offers.
Exactly. It comes down to your usage. So 50,000, it's a reasonable premium for an automatic transmission, especially considering it's a well-tuned one. But if you want something that's more focused on the engagement of driving, the experience of that, obviously the manual transmission would be the better pick. I mean, if you have any concerns regarding fuel efficiency, you can put those to rest, because in the case of AMTs at least, there's a very almost negligible difference in terms of fuel efficiency. In fact, the claimed efficiency of the Swift petrol is about 22 kilometers per liter, and it's the same for the AMT and the manual. So drivability wise, if you do have a lot of city commuting, you have to deal with a lot of traffic, and you just need that long term comfort. I mean, at times, no matter how light a clutch is or how easy a gear shift is,
nothing beats an
or
nothing beats the
automatic. It's
convenience
just
of
it's
an
convenience
automatic.
in the simplest sense. So if you have a lot of urban usage, then I'd say go ahead and get the automatic. But if you don't face that much traffic and you don't feel that driving with a manual will be an inconvenience, you can go ahead and get the manual, even if you have a lot of highway driving.
So, okay, Vishal has a very interesting question. When is the Swift hybrid going to come? Now, I say this is interesting because Maruti Suzuki had their the HEV.
Yes.
You know the base
The technology,
model.
the
Yeah,
basic,
the technology was
exactly
on display,
showcased at the Auto Expo.
right? So before I tell you when it will eventually come, I'll tell you how it works, right? So we've seen hybrids like the Camry or the Accord. They've got a battery pack, a motor generator unit, and an engine. All of this works in tandem. Of course, the benefit here is fuel efficiency, because even something as big as the Accord gave us about 17 kilometers to the liter inside heavy city traffic.
Exactly.
So you can only imagine what a Swift that already gives you 22 kilometers to the liter will do, right? So this is something that Maruti did say that might become mainstream for their vehicles.
So let's get down to a simple question. If you're looking at a time frame, from an official standpoint, we can't give you anything because Maruti has not made any clear stand as to when they'll be introducing that. They'll be working towards it. If we had to give you a guesstimate, again, don't hold us to this comment, maybe 2021 or so, whereabouts, give or take a year, that might be the first time we'll see certain models with proper thoroughbred hybrid technology, not just your smart hybrid, which is the ISG and engine start-stop system, that might enter the mainstream market from the Maruti Suzuki stables.
Right. Moving on to another question. This one comes from Praveen Raj. He asks us if the Swift AMT diesel is good to buy or the i20. He wants a diesel, and which should he choose?
This is the manual only is
Considering, so he said Swift AMT diesel. Again, like we said, the AMT box on the Swift, it's very well tuned. So it's not as jumpy as the Ignis. It's not as laid back as the Desire. It's
somewhere in between.
Yeah, it's
and
somewhere in the middle.
also, if you're talking about the comparison in terms of automatics, the Elite i20 doesn't have one at all.
Yeah.
And the one that's coming, the petrol CVT, like I mentioned, it's only on the petrol engine. So if you're looking at a diesel to diesel comparison, if you want an automatic, the default pick would have to be the Swift. And the Elite i20, there is no automatic transmission that's going to be coming anytime in the near future. What we will be getting is for the
Petrol CVT, right? So modern caterers asks us if there's a sunroof available. No. Answer fast. No. It's not available.
But just a heads up, we got some recent spy shots. If you're in the market for a Creta, sorry to go off topic,
Yeah.
the Creta, that's going to be coming with the sunroof once introduced
right.
later this year.
Okay, so Ravneet Singh asks us, how's the rear suspension of the new Swift?
The rear suspension, overall the suspension is, we can't really tell you about the specific thing, but ride quality wise, it is certainly set up more on the enthusiast side, slightly firm, slightly stiff, if you can use that word. So your bad road ability is not going to be as good as, say, something like a Baleno. If you look at something that's more focused on the family, I'm assuming you're asking rear seat because either you're chauffeur driven or you want something for the family. So if you have decent roads, won't really be a problem. Highway stability is good, cornering stability is good. Bad road ability is average. It's not all that great. It's more focused towards the driving enthusiasm side of it. So that pretty much sums it up. It is comfortable, but on bad road abilities, we would have wished for more. But then again, the trade-off is dynamics as opposed to comfort.
Right. So another fantastic question from Ravneet. He wants to know if the Elite i20 petrol is still underpowered because of its heavy weight. Now, we won't exactly call it underpowered as such, but let's just say it's not for the enthusiast.
Yeah, city driving, you should be
yes,
alright.
It's for city driving, it should be fine. But
if I could, but I'd probably put it this way: the Maruti 1.2 liter K series engine. If you're looking at a better petrol in terms of drivability and performance, you probably want to go ahead and get the Swift petrol rather than the Elite i20.
Right.
Another question we are hearing is the Echo. Okay, this is a bit off topic, but the Echo Sport or the Nexon.
Yeah.
That is the question that we're seeing. Tough question. We've actually been working on getting the comparison in place. The Nexon does have a pricing advantage, and this is in this reference we're talking about the petrols. We'd probably give it to the EcoSport. I mean, this is not including factors like the budget, because in terms of quality, the kind of features you get, and in our experience, even certain
Yeah.
small little niggles and all that we got from the Tata Nexon. So that does raise some questions, but Nexon is a good product. But if you had to buy the Nexon, our favor goes towards the diesel.
Yeah.
Because the 1.2 Revertron with the turbocharged engine, it is decent, but not all that great. The EcoSport, on the other hand,
Yeah,
not
the
bad.
EcoSport's
The new
1.
Dragon petrol engine.
Yeah,
You drove it in fact.
right. So the 1.5 petrol, the new one, it's actually quite laid back to drive. It feels really nice inside the city, and the automatic, that's an added boon there. The Nexon currently does not have an AMT, although it might
is
get
coming.
one. But the EcoSport just feels at home inside the city. It's more comfortable, going about city runabouts. So yeah, maybe
Let's
will.
answer the question briefly.
Yeah.
Between the two, if you're talking about at least in the petrol context, between the EcoSport and Nexon, we'd give it to the EcoSport.
Yeah. All right. More questions. Okay, so Rajendra says he's been driving his Swift diesel for the past 4 years. He's done 1 lakh kilometers on it.
Well done, my friend.
That's quite
great,
a
man.
lot.
Is it city or
And-
just highway usage? Just let us know.
And he wants to change based on similar running for about next 4 years. Suggest me the best between the two. Okay, now compared to the old Swift, you don't really have a new engine here. It's the exact same engine. So if that one did 1 lakh kilometers, you're pretty sure this one will do 1 lakh
Exactly,
as well,
and
right?
even in terms of efficiency, tested
Yeah.
efficiency in the real world, the new Swift also super fuel efficient.
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be a great partner. Again, the ride quality is one place where there'll be some kind of difference
Right.
because it was like this. The first generation was focused on enthusiasts. The second generation, which I'm guessing is the version you own and drove, that was a little bit more focused towards comfort, making it more family friendly. The third generation, it's kind of a throwback to the first, bit more focused on dynamics and the driving enthusiasm aspect of it. So that is one place we'd recommend you go ahead and get a test drive. But if you are looking for the new Swift as an upgrade to your current model, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and do that. We have to again run a real fuel efficiency test, but by what we've seen before, we'd say that the Swift is the more fuel efficient option, and it's a good
Right.
bet to go with.
And the other way of looking at it is, hey, you've had a Swift for so many years, just upgrade to, it's because the Elite i20 is one class above, so it is the bigger car. It's more spacious. It feels a bit more plush. So
And you can get a better loaded variant of the Swift, which is, by the way, more spacious than before now. And in comparison to the similar budget price, if you had to get an Elite i20.
So there you have it. The both of them, for that kind of running, both of them will do it. The Elite i20 is a bit more plush. You'll feel like you've upgraded to a bigger, better
That's
car.
true, that's true.
And the Swift, yes, it is improved compared to the one you own. You'll need to decide if you want a Swift again. Yeah. Our buddy Cyrus asks if the new Swift will do a handbrake turn. Sure.
Yes.
It will.
I mean, I'm not going to be the expert at doing that, but yes, it'll do it pretty well. Nice
Yeah.
and light. Good to get it in and nice turn and responsive
Right, so
steering.
Pawan Kumar asks us if the Etios Lever GD. Okay, he owns an Etios Lever GD.
Okay.
He wants to upgrade. Suggest a car under 12 lakhs. Diesel is what he's preferring, and he wants to do a lot of highway trips. Okay, under 12 lakhs. I'm guessing that's on road. I'm tilting towards the S-Cross Zeta. Honestly, because at 9.99 lakhs ex showroom, it's got quite a lot of kit. There's every creature comfort that
I think
you
it
want.
goes down to even the SmartPlay infotainment system.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
got-
that.
it's got
the engine also. They've improved the drivability. It's not got as much turbo lag as it once did. The ride quality of the S Cross has always been a great selling point. So if you, I didn't, he mentioned highway usage a lot.
Yeah.
So the S Cross is very accomplished at that. But
Yeah.
if you want to be more specific, if you are looking for a hatchback upgrade or a crossover upgrade or a compact SUV upgrade or a sedan upgrade or an MPV upgrade, you
It
go ahead
fits-
and
it
let
just-
us know
it
that.
just fits the
but
bill.
if you are looking at extensive highway usage on the road, you are used to Toyota's.
Yeah,
that
so
thing,
not saying that Maruti. I think the Maruti will last equally as long, right? And the S Cross is plush. It's got really good amount of space. The ride quality is fantastic,
Top notch.
So yeah, we'd say try and look at the S Cross, see if it fits your requirements, and maybe go for that. Shibam Rana asks us if the Swift will come with a turbo petrol engine. Okay.
We are going like we had speculated about this because we were expecting the Swift Sport to come. Now the international version gets the 1.4 liter booster jet. That for sure we can tell you is not going to come because let me just put it in simple words. Sub 4 meter cars, they have to have petrol engine that displays up to 1.2 liters or diesel engines up to 1.5 liters. If they don't, they get taxed in a higher bracket, which means it will be so much more expensive. It will cross even the Baleno territory. In fact, the top spec Swift petrol, it's already barely a few thousand rupees cheaper than the Baleno Alpha.
Yeah.
So that is
So
again
it's already pushing the boundaries in
Exactly.
terms of price. So if we had to place safe bets, we'd say 1 liter booster jet, maybe.
Same as the Baleno
Yeah,
RS. The 110
1.4,
PS.
maybe we have too big dreams, like, too much to be expecting of Maruti, at least at this price point. Prakash Pathare asks us if he should pick the Swift VDI or the Brezza, which is better. Okay, good question. Very, very interesting question.
Could you specify what your requirements are more like? Because
if you could tell us the reasons to buy the Brezza, for me at least, is the seating position, that SUV like styling, and it's a bit better on bad roads, right? Because of that added ground clearance more than anything else.
Because the ride quality is still kind of stiff even on the Vitara Brezza.
So if you could specify if you actually need those parameters, so the Brezza is the way to go. If not, if you just want a simple hatchback or a simple car for the city to do your daily duties, the Swift should be fine, right? Suvid asks us which cars we own. So he owns a 2010.
Yeah,
Honda
2010 Honda Jazz, the Select variant, the petrol. Still love it. I've moved everything from my family to a refrigerator and everything. So I mainly bought it for the cabin space. And if anybody is interested to know the pros and cons, I've got a very good condition used car for sale, by the way. Just rupees 8.5 lakh. Just give me a sort of brilliantly maintained.
And I've got a 2014 Volkswagen Polo GT TSI, right? Okay, next question. Natarajan Vishwanathan asks us, he's got his heart on the Polo, my man, but people are saying the maintenance cost is too high. What's your opinion? Okay, now I'm going to chip in here as an owner. So I've
straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, so I've owned the GT TSI for about 3 years now, and other than routine service, which I will admit is sort of expensive. Usually you're looking in the whereabouts of 8,000-9,000 for normal.
But that is one service annually.
Yeah, that's one service annually. In my books, it's better than going for 2 services or 3 services a year and paying $4,000 for every service.
Like, I give you a heads up just for example, because if you had to take a similar segment reference, my Jazz costs about 15,000 rupees annually to maintain, and I have to put it for 2 to 3 services because the interval is that much shorter.
Yeah.
So that again adds to the pain. So reliability wise, yes, you can still raise some questions about Volkswagens, but when they're good, they're actually pretty easy on the pocket, and he's had no issues with it, and it's all good. You can go ahead and buy one.
Nagul asks us if the i30 will launch in India. Now, I think there's a good case for the i30.
It's just a placement that's a bit tricky because the i20 and Verna, there is some kind of price overlap, but they might just introduce it if somebody wants a more premium hatchback, but it's a bit tough to say right now at what price point they'd introduce it and what differentiated it give it compared to the Elite i20 or the Verna itself. So right now, I think we spotted it on test also in the India. But again, that might be a part of the global test. For now, we have no word on it. We had rumors of this even last year. In fact, from 2016 also we've had these rumors, so we can't really comment on it right now. For now, we have nothing. But if we do get a word from Hyundai, in fact, we'll put in the word and try and get some information on their front, and we'll give you a heads up.
Right. Shirsha asks us that he wants a Beta Cup. He's got an Octavia 1.8 already. So
nice.
Good choice. And what do you suggest, the Swift or the Baleno? Now, I'd say the Swift, okay, purely because it's more fun and you won't miss the Octi when you're in the Swift, so you can really thrash it about.
Thoda zyada ho gaya.
Come on,
if you're looking
it
for,
is fun.
For a performance rocket, obviously your Octi is definitely a brilliant purchase. But yeah, Beta car, if you're looking for something to have fun with,
just buy the one that's cheaper, right?
Beta car, okay, fine, pretty simply. It's a fun to drive car. You can even get the base variant and kit it up slightly if you want. Again, no spoiler alert, we've also got a variants explained video of the Swift coming up, so stay tuned for that.
So, okay, next question. Bonil, I hope, again, I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He says he's using a 2009 Hyundai i10 and a Hyundai Creta. He wants to upgrade the i10 for a decent hatchback, especially for city and highway. Okay, it would have been a lot easier if you would have specified budget, because just saying hatchback, it's a very broad spectrum. If you are looking at the Swift and the Elite i20,
Honestly, either one works perfectly fine because they're good in terms of maintenance and quality and ride and reliability. If you're looking from the i10 to something that's not too much of a leap ahead, you can go, since you have a Creta already and you're familiar with the Hyundai family. In fact, if you have two cars, you can even walk into a dealer, and if it's a dealer you're familiar with, push for a discount, maybe even get a Grand i10. So that would be a familiar leap for you, something you're comfortable with. If you are ready for going for a slightly higher budget upgrade, you can get the Elite i20 itself. And if you're willing to experiment with a new brand, we go, you know what, the Swift is perfectly fine as well. So
Yeah.
familiarity and budget friendly perspective, probably go for the Grand i10.
Right. Modern caterers again ask us Vitara, Brezza, Swift Desire in diesel, which variant to go for. Now we've done separate videos for both. You can head to the channel, check those videos out, and if you've got any more doubts, leave them in the comments there. We'll make sure we answer your queries. Yeah. Hari Prakash, hi sir, I own an Alto 800. I want to upgrade to a diesel hatchback under 9 lakh rupees. So what's the best bet? All right, so under 9 lakhs, so there's a lot of options. You can choose between anything from a Figo, a Grand i10, a Swift, a decently spec Baleno, Elite i20. There's a lot
of options.
But I think a safe bet would, I don't know, you might want to prioritize your needs, right? Do you need space? Does it need to be easy to drive inside the city, or it's just going to be a highway cruiser? We figure out the needs first, which will help us sharpen our answer.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd suggest you look at the Swift, the Figo, and the Grand i10 before you move on to any other cars, before you consider any more cars. Nimit. Okay. Questions just disappeared, but I think you were asking about what automatic to buy. Oh yeah, that was the best automatic to buy in 10 or 11 lakhs on road diesel. Diesel automatics, you've got just the Swift, there's the Desire, there's the Ignis.
And if you're looking at performance, again, if you're not looking at segment limitations, you can look at something like the Volkswagen Amio,
Yeah.
the TDI DSG 1.5. So a lot of wide range of options. If you want something that's performance centric, you can probably get something like an Amio. For everyday usability, even a Swift or an Ignis, pretty fun to drive cars. They're not so much on the performance end of it, but easy drivability and even efficiency.
Right. So we're also getting a question from Bonil, who asked us about the safety of the Baleno. This has been a very hotly debated topic. Sheet metal, it's thin. Weight, it's low. Does that mean it's unsafe? No, right? Let's get that bit out of the way. Weight does not equal to safety, right?
And the Baleno is actually off to a good start because it comes by default from the Sigma variant itself.
Yeah.
That is the base variant.
Yeah, it gets dual airbags. It's got
ABS
ABS.
with EBD and brake assist, ISOFIX.
It's got-
it's
it's
an
got-
extra safety shield.
Yeah, that's what they call it. So what you need to remember is that the weight saving is because they've moved on to a lighter, more rigid platform. They're using materials that let them save weight and add rigidity, right? And as far as the deformation or the because there are a lot of pictures that circulate on the internet that just show a Baleno that's smashed beyond belief, and people immediately draw the assumption that they are unsafe. What you need to look at is the cabin, and 95% of the time the cabin's intact, right? And the sheet metal around the car, it's designed to crumple. If it did not crumple, it would pass all the impact on into the cabin, and then you would have a problem. So what would you rather have, a smashed car or you?
Exactly, the passenger cell, as long as it keeps you safe, it's all good. And in fact, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, we actually have the NCAP test ratings on this, which is scored about 3.5 stars, which is not stupendously great, but it is, by all intents, it's a very relative term, and we can't really explain the degree about it, but yes, it is a safe car.
Right. Modern caterers, we're taking your question again. You ask Vitara, Brezza or S-Cross. Simple answer, S-Cross. The Zeta variant, pick it up. It's much better to live with on a daily basis compared
better
to the
space,
Brezza.
better practicality,
Yeah.
better drivability, better efficiency, and most importantly, the ride quality.
Yeah.
The Brezza, for a compact SUV, something that's meant for the rough roads, is definitely set up on the stiffer side. That does make it fun to drive when you're going for cornering and all, but the S-Cross isn't, a lot worse than that. But the ride quality, comfort, battery, we just give it a big thumbs up. So yes, we'd go with the S-Cross.
Right. Dilip Reddy asks us, how is the Tata Zest? It's a okay. I'd say it is definitely a good sedan. It's got the basics right, but would I buy one? Maybe not.
I wouldn't.
There are better alternatives in the market.
Even from the Tata stable, the Tigor
Yeah,
itself.
the Tigor, right? That is a much more contemporary looking option more than anything else. And if you want a compact sedan, I'd rather check out the Desire or the Amaze or the Accent even for that matter. Um, okay, Avinash Kumar asks us car without power lag at lower RPM up to 15 lakhs. Okay, that's a very vague question, but what you're looking at is petrols, right? Because
Naturally
diesels-
aspirated
naturally
petrols,
aspirated
yes.
petrols, because diesel equal to turbo equal to lag. So if you could just sharpen your question, if you could tell us what you want, what is it exactly that you're looking for, a segment would be helpful. We can give you the answer then. Abul Hassan asks us if the Ertiga VXI is a good car, and if not, what he should buy for 7.5 lakh rupees. His main requirement is a big boot. I'd say Jazz, honestly, because that's a heavily underrated car
Exactly,
for what
and
it can do. And if you
insane.
don't need the 7 seats, the Jazz is as good as an MPV.
Exactly.
Right?
Very practical. You got those flat folding seats, wide and open luggage loading mouth. It's not too high for lifting up luggage either. Very practical boot, and it in fact it supersedes segments above in terms of
Yeah.
sedans or body styles for cabin space, practicality overall. I mean that's the biggest selling point for us in Jazz. Yes, I'd agree that it is a bit premium price, but given your budget, if luggage space is the main criteria over here, I'd agree with him. Go ahead and get the Jazz.
Right. Okay. Yash Pratap Singh asks us. He's got a Wagoner. He wants to upgrade to a diesel hatchback for daily use under 8 lakh rupees. What would we suggest?
For daily use, probably go ahead and get the Grand i10.
Yeah,
It's one
for-
of the most sought. Like got the new 1.2 liter CRDI Q2 CRDI engine that they've put into it. Not too great on the highway, but everyday drivability, the way it shifts,
Yeah,
the way you
for
get
daily
low rev
use.
torque, so smooth to drive, very easy to live with. You can go ahead and get that. And if you want something from within the Maruti stable because you already own one, even consider the Swift diesel. It's again very sorted engine, and if you want, you have the automatic option over there as well.
Right. All right. Next question. Nimit asks us if there's a problem in the ABS system of Maruti Suzuki, and ABS and airbag function of Maruti Suzuki. I'm not sure what the source of this information is more than anything else. I even don't understand what a possible problem could be. Do they work? ABS, yes, it does. Airbag, I haven't tested. I don't want to test it.
But ABS, let's put it in experience. We have done hard braking tests with a lot of the cars that we get, including Maruti Suzuki's, and honestly, no problem.
Yeah,
so
the
far.
ABS works. Like I said, airbags don't want to test it. Okay, Akshay Kumar asks us if he should pick the S-Cross or the Desire. If he wants, I don't know. It's
It's a tricky question.
Yeah.
If it's, let's put it this way. In the same budget, if you want something that's more fuel efficient and a bit more focused on just you like the sedan look altogether, let's not forget that. Probably get the Desire itself. But if it's something that's prioritizing ride quality more than anything else, because the Swift Desire is also good in terms of ride quality, but the S-Cross is just a pinnacle, it's the benchmark. So if you have a lot of bad roads or something like that, probably go ahead and get the S-Cross, and it's a very practical car as well, even if you are a chauffeur-driven owner.
Right. Okay. Baban R asks us if he should pick the Elite i20 or the new Honda Amaze petrol. Okay, the new Honda Amaze that's not come out yet.
Yeah.
There's still a couple of months before it launches.
It's revealed in fact.
So yeah. So
with the prices.
With the prices. So if you want to buy immediately, the Elite i20 is pretty much your only option. So next question. Alan, he asks us if there'll be a petrol version of the S-Cross or the Brezza in the future.
Tough to say.
Again,
There have been rumors of that 1.5 liter petrol that
Yeah,
was
so there have
planning,
been two
which then
rumors.
became a 1 liter booster jet.
yeah, so there have been two rumors, right? One, the S-Cross is getting a 1.5 liter petrol, and two, the Brezza is getting the 1 liter booster jet. Now, if you look at both these cars, they fit into the compact SUV slash crossover space
That's right.
that is still dominated by diesel engines, right? Even look at the options in that space, there are very few petrols around.
True.
So if Maruti chooses to bring a petrol anytime soon is sort of unlikely, but we won't rule it out completely.
But we can't give you an immediate trajectory as to if and when that will happen.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely, at least in 2018.
Yeah. So, okay, next question. Ravi Pandey asks us if i20 Asta option is worth the money. For me personally, for the six airbags alone, worth it.
So in the i20 Asta
Option,
option,
yeah.
yeah, it's a fully loaded variant. So in that you're getting the 16-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. You've got Isofix, which for whatever reason Hyundai didn't offer as
No,
standard.
more than Isofix, I don't know why a rear wiper is only available on the top end version.
Okay, it is odd omissions. Hyundai does have a tendency to do that with their variants. But yeah, you have side and curtain airbags, which is the only car in the segment to get that. You've got projector headlights with the DRLs. You've got 16-inch alloy wheels. You've got a rear washer wiper defogger. You've got leather touches on the steering and gear lever. It's a very well equipped car, and if your budget permits to go for it, you will be happy with it. Go ahead and make that purchase.
Yeah. Okay, Jaideep Singh asks us if the Volvo XC60's maintenance cost would be more or less than its rivals. Too early to say. It's barely been a couple of months since
Exactly.
it's been launched, so it'll be too early to say if it'll be more or less. But if we had to estimate, it should be lesser than its German rivals.
Exactly, by what we hear from the company sources, they're trying to target that audience by making the ownership experience a lot lighter on the pocket. So that is how Volvo's not just product pricing, it is the living with process also that they're getting a lot cheaper with. So yes, there will be a competitive advantage, but again, these are luxury cars, so don't expect it to be cheap, just cheaper.
Yeah. Okay, Arvind asks us which car to buy on low budget, Eon, Quid, Alto, K10 on that space.
Tiago.
Yeah, the
Tiago.
Tiago, honestly. For that kind of money, I'd say stretch a bit, buy the Tiago, and you shouldn't have issues. And if you can get the top end version with the 8 speaker sound system, we'd like to borrow your car. Okay, Bipasha Roy asks us the budget is up to 4.5 lakhs. Suggest the best thing. Again, Tiago. That's something you can look at. Yash Pratap Singh asks us if he should choose between the Volkswagen Polo or the Baleno. Maintenance cost doesn't matter. Yeah,
That's
we'll
all.
see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.